must be live. Working, thank you. Hello, everyone. Let's start our Facebook Live as we always do. One thing you are grateful for, or one thing that, one good thing that has happened to you in the last 24 hours. How are we doing? Great. Oh, and I realized when you talk, no one can hear you. So Phil's just telling me everyone's saying hi, 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 hi. Cool. So what do you want me to show you today? I thought we could start with the half halt while everyone's coming on. Oh, I know, I know. Okay. So I'll do it in Canter first. So it's easier if I circle around you, isn't it, Phil? Okay. So I'm doing a normal canter, not thinking about anything else, just cantering along. And let's say, and he does, he feels a little bit heavy, a little bit blocked. This is not a great canter. It could be more uphill, it could be more expressive, it could be more powerful, it could be many things. So what I'm going to do, firstly, I'll do an ineffective thing, which is just kind of do what I used to do when I was learning to ride, which is just wiggle my hands, because I thought you had to wiggle your hands. And, you know, it actually had a 5 to 10% reaction. But what I want to do is, firstly, I've got to get the engine going. So I'm going to come with my legs a little bit. And yeah, the canter's going to go a bit bigger and a bit faster. But I need some more energy. I need some more revs. And then what I'm going to do is with my hands and my body more. So you can see I'm really coming up with my body. Now I'm just going to sit. And he went to walk, and I said, no, I don't want you to walk. I want you to come under. So all I'm doing now is revving the engine, but not letting it go anywhere with my body. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, good boy. And now you can see I don't need to hold anything. He's light in front. His hind legs come more under. And now he's working in a better frame. Now he's lost it, throwing down on the forehand. So I say, hey, come up, hey, come up, hey, come up. And you can see I can literally make him climb depending on how much I want him to come up. And then I go, okay, I just want you to keep that posture. I want you to keep that frame, not too high, not too low. And that's our job. You know, he's coming a bit above the bit, he's coming a bit below the bit. And my job is to keep him right there with an active hind leg. And so it's constant hand, leg, seat, hand, leg, seat. What does he need more of? Hand, leg, or seat? What does he need? Does he need to go more? Does he need to rev the engine more? Does he need to come up from the shoulders more? What does he need? Good. So do we have any questions about that? That's okay. You're doing a great job holding it, Phil. I will come in. Ooh. Okay. We've got gratefuls. Jaden, can you show? Oh, I read it from back here and I thought it said, can you show jumping techniques? Would love to see some trotting today. Whoop, just what you're thinking about when you do it. I overcame my fear of cantering today. That's great. Sorry, Wes doesn't want to stop and do questions. Great, great, great. Okay, so we want to do some trotting. Okay, so what do we want to do in trotting? You said you just want to know what I'm thinking about. Okay, let's trot then. You guys know sitting trot on him while I talk. They say you should exercise at a pace where you can, it's okay, where you can talk but not sing. Isn't that correct, Phil? So let's see how I go. All right, you are in the mood today. All right, so trotting, I have to choose what trot I want. He's offered me about 7 already. So I'm just going to try and get into a rhythm first. I need a rhythm of a trot. Good boy. Right, so this is a rhythm, and then I assess. Am I happy with it? And I go, no, I want a bit more expression, a bit more lift, a bit more, yeah, but forward. Yeah, you got to carry me. You got to carry me. So you got to come through. Yeah. Yeah, I want it easy. I want you to do more. I want me to do less. You to do more, me to do less. Don't fall down. Don't fall on the forehand. You stay up. Yeah, you stay up, but don't suck back. because he goes, oh, passage, no, forward trot. But every step, take a bit higher. No, not passage, more expression. Bigger, 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 bigger but not faster, bigger but not faster, bigger not faster, bigger not faster, bigger not faster. Do we have questions about that? I find it so awful to ride with headphones in. I feel like you've taken a sense away from me because I really do like to hear the horse. I like to hear the footprints. I like to hear the world around me, and I feel awful without it. Good boy. Okay. So we've got a question about cantering for the first time. Yeah. So cantering for the first time, the tricky thing is the transition, isn't it, Phil? So you want to try and make that transition as smooth as possible. And then I saw someone else asking you about downhill transitions. So if possible, you want to do your transition on a well-trained horse like this, because then you can just count 3, 2, 1, and canter. And you see, there was no running, there was no scary steps. It's just very smooth. Now, if you are riding horses that I used to ride when I was learning, this is what my trot canter transition used to look like. I can't even get him to canter that way. So you know how I talk about the transition trot to canter is not trot, fast trot canter. And you can see he knows that so well. If I start riding him in that crazy chicken run trot, he won't canter out of that. He has no idea that that would actually be an aid for canter. He knows what the aid for canter is. He showed you what it was. And going faster in trot is not how you get to canter. But a lot of horses, and mine included when I first started training them, thought that was how you got into canter. Trot, trot faster, canter. So if you're learning for the first time, it's fine to practice there. You know, I'm okay, Tash says, not to go faster in the trot to get my canter. So if that means for 3 weeks, I'm actually not going to canter because I'm going to trot. And if I ask for canter and the horse takes one faster step, I'm going to bring him back to trot and try again. Whoop, he went faster. I'm going to bring him back to trot and try again. When you're that strict with your training, when you're that black and white about the outcome you're looking to achieve, that gets you a way better result in the end. It's slower at the start. What's that proverb? There's like proverbs like hasten slowly, and Phil's giving me nothing. What's your proverb? Oh, when Phil's got one proverb. When is the best time to plant a tree? Yesterday, and then if you can't yesterday, when? That's part of the proverb. Yeah, today. Okay. Show an upward transition from walk to trot and a walk to canter transition. Cool, yeah, because if you're learning to ride, you're like, well, they're the same, aren't they? Don't you just kick? But then how would the horse know what trot is, and how would the horse know what canter is? So the first thing is when I'm walking, I'm going left, right, left, right. I'm pedaling my seat bones with his walk. With the trot, now if I just ask for trot without preparing, I've just asked for trot, that was really bad, yeah? Because I didn't really package up the horse and prepare. So whenever I'm doing a transition, I have to package up the horse. I have to put all this energy on the hind leg so we can lift off into our trot or our canter transition. So in the trot, before we will just go off into trot, you saw how unprepared and ugly that one was. It's okay. And you can tell, what do you want me to do with this energy? What do you want me to do with this energy? What do you want me to do with this energy? You are so willing and gorgeous. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then, oh, okay. Okay, so he's getting into a mood and getting a bit confused, thinking piaffe or something. So now I'm just going to open hips. Yeah, and we found the trot. So that's okay. You saw when he made a mistake, when he got it wrong, he got a pat. Why did he get a pat? Because he's trying. And he gave me a wonderful try at something I would really like. Good boy. That's what I want, a trot. So you can tell he's thinking, yep, what does she want? What does she want me to do with this energy? What does she want me to do with this energy? And my trot A is just a scoop with both seat bones saying lift into trot. For canter, I still package the energy, but now I'm just going to use one seat bone, the inside seat bone, to scoop into canter, which will mean that my outside leg goes slightly back and my inside leg goes slightly forward. If he stops thinking PR. We're okay, buddy. We're okay. 3, 2, 1, and canter. Good boy. Okay, now obviously he's been trained. We trained him how to do this, but you'll see it a lot messier and you'll see it a lot untidier and you'll see a lot more mistakes when I do it on the young horses, but it's the same premise. If they offer me something that I don't want, but they're trying, they'll probably still get a pat. They'll get a huge pat when they get it really right, and when they get it wrong, it's just ignored, and we try again. Ignore, try again. Ignore, try again. And when it's, you know, he wants to give me the right answer. He wants to play with me. Except what he does not want to do is come close to fill in the computer so I can read the questions. Oh, you sure? Which horse is that? This is Wessel, the superstar. To get the horse on the bit, should I half halt with the outside rein, the inside rein, or does it not matter? Well, people always talk about the inside leg to the outside rein. So what does that mean? That means normally, like if I'm just walking around, he's falling a little bit to the inside. Now he's got heaps of weight on this shoulder while he looks over there. So in his normal way of going, he's not balanced on 4 legs. He's not lifting his back. He hasn't got his engine going. So if this, you get on your horse and this is the shape you've got, you know, he's just doing his own thing. It's very unbalanced. It's very uneven. So our job is to even it up. So I'm going to take the reins and I want to feel 50-50 in each rein. And I want to get the feeling that I can push with my inside leg and create a banana to get a bend to that side. I want to feel a softening and less weight on the inside shoulder. And straight away, he's come into that shape because he's a beautifully lovely trained horse and he's a good boy. But, okay, let me go straight for a second. He can't be exact. He will be, so there he's fallen in a little bit. So we're going to bring him back over here. So the question was, how do you get the horse on the bit? What do you do? What are the steps? People are always asking me, what's the steps? What's the process? How do you make a chocolate cake? How do you get a horse on the bit? And Dressage Mastery has that complete step-by-step process and which step you might get lost and which step you have to apply. But what you just need to remember is, firstly, is this working? So let me forget about his head. Okay, so he started off like this, lazy and bad. So we're going to get this hind leg going. We're going to get it going. Yeah. Now, we need to have contact. Right now, I don't have a contact with his mouth. There's a loop in the reins, which means if I had a contact with your leg, it's doing this. I have a contact, I don't have a contact. I have a contact, I don't have a contact. What you have to think about is no matter what, keep a contact. So I can have a really light contact on my leg, or I can grip my leg and have a really tight contact with my leg, but I will always have a contact. Oh, Belle, my cat's come down to say hello. But I'll always have contact. So think about your hands in the same way, going, okay, I need to have a contact with his mouth. And most riders, and it's not riders, it's just everybody. I had the same thing. I was like, okay, look, I've got a contact. And you couldn't argue. I do have a contact, but I haven't pushed the horse into the contact yet. So his head's still up in the air. He's not connected from the back to the front, even though I've still got a contact. Up. Give me a yes in the comments if you're like, yes, this happens to me. So you have to be a little bit stronger in your contact, just a little bit play with the lower fingers. And you can see as soon as I start playing, rolling the bit over his tongue, talking to him in the bit, he's where he needs to be. So what have I done? I've gone a little bit stronger in the contact for a second. I might go the inside rein, I might go the outside rein, and that's going to be on my feeling of where I'm empty the most, because I want him to feel next on both. But I've got a connection right, and say, hey, I need to feel both. Good boy. And then straight away I feel both. still not exactly the same. So I'm still talking, saying, hey, I still don't feel complete softness and suppleness to the inside. I want to feel that more. So inside leg to outside drain, push that little bit. We've got you. Does that help? I don't know if I need glasses, Phil. It's very little. Tortoise in the hare. Thank you. That's a good analogy too. So instead he wins the race. Why is there targets in the arena? I think you're talking about our fights. Where is it?
Yes.
It does look like a target.
Yes.
Don't you know I'm an archer in my spare time? I'm really not. More evening from Cornwall. Okay. Oh, okay. How do I do a collected forward downward transition, especially trot to walk? My Frisian has what I would call a raining stop. Yeah, that happens a lot. And because people think backwards into their downward transitions. So they're like, and back, even coaches say it, and back to trot, and back to walk. Change the talking there, change the language. We go forward into trot. We go, and if I said trot, you would think, oh, okay, I'm in walk, obviously, and I'm going to go forward into trot. No, you're going to canter and go forward into trot. So you specifically mentioned the trot to walk transition. So if I don't think about it and I trot, and if I use my hands and I go walk, you can see that's a yucky, jilted transition. Oh, cat. The cat has decided to sit on the chair and moved all the cushions away. Okay, but that was a really bad trot to walk transition. It was very stilted. He almost halted. So I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about. And that was because I just thought about the walk. So I just pulled on his head and said, walk. Now I want to think float forwards into walk. So I'm going to slow down the trot and almost stop riding the walk transition halfway through it. So you saw that was a really nice one. He went really forward, trot into walk. And that's because as soon as I'm reacting to my walk aid, I stopped asking for it. And I just rode the walk rhythm. So most people, you're trying to control it too much. You're controlling the whole transition and only stopping the aid for the transition once you feel you're in the new gate. Trust the horse more. You ask for the transition as soon as they're in the process of executing the transition, soften and allow them to do it. That will allow not too many breaks. And same with the forward transition. Trot to canter, it's a process. Like they've got to lift and transition into canter. So apply the aid, trust they'll do it and enjoy the ride rather than trying to force it and control it and do everything on it. Travers and renvers. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to walk.
Stay in front of you?
Yeah, you could stay in front of me. So we're definitely not going to do this in trot or canter because Phil's legs would stop. He's walking right now. Travers is a 4-track movement. So you can see now you see 4 legs. He's very spidery, but there's my 4 legs. So it's front, outside leg, front, side leg, back, inside leg, back, outside leg. Now, a renvers, you're going to put the horse and shoulder in first, and then you're going to push the quarters even more to the wall, bend to the left, and now you are in travers. Okay, so let me just stop for a second in this position. We are in travers to the left, but we're on the right rein. So now that becomes renvers. Renvers used to hurt my head. I was like, what do you mean? It's travers, but the wrong way round. But just think about that. You can be on travers. So travers means I had my hind legs to the right and I was on the right. Now we're still on the right rein, but now we've got our hind legs to the left. Does that help? I know it's tricky. And you're in shoulder in, but what you need to remember is, so in the dressage test, they ask you to go into renvers from the shoulder in. The shoulder in is a 3-track movement. You shoulder in, which let's just do it on the next long side. I won't have the mirror to help me, so let's hope that I'm doing it well. Okay, so you guys will have to tell me if I'm 3 tracks. I want my mirror, Phil. All right, so here's 3 tracks shoulder in, hopefully. And then what we're going to do is I push him a little bit more while I transition into the renvers, and now we're in 4 tracks. So you have to give the horse room to be able to, you know, there's a wall there. You can't go through the wall. So we want to stay in here, and then you can see transition back to shoulder in. I bring the shoulders slightly back to come back into tracks. And then I push the shoulder slightly out as I ask for renvers to go into the renvers. Cool. Hopefully that helps. Oh, your leg, your arms. Sorry, Phil. Whoops. How are you capturing that energy you're packaging? So the biggest thing is you want to realize is you don't want to, and I'm probably guilty of even saying that word, but again, helping the words, the language we use helps describe the experience. So it's actually not capturing. Capturing energy would mean that I've caught it and therefore the energy has gone. It's a management of energy. So you constantly want to manage the energy forward and back and up and down. You don't want any of that energy to disappear. So yeah, when I create energy with my legs, he wants to think in exaggerated terms. I've created all this energy with the hind legs, so the horse will want to gallop. But then with my reins, I play the bit over his tongue, and with my body, I say, hey, I don't want any of that energy to go out the front. I don't want you to gallop. So almost with my reins and my body, I say, go backwards. Like if I'm thinking the epitome of collection in a piaffe, with my body and my reins, I'm going rein back. With my hind legs, I'm going gallop. So gallop and rein backwards at the same time, that's, you know, what does that mean? Where should the energy go? And therefore the energy has to go up. Now, obviously, if I said to Wessel, rein back, thank you, good boy, and gallop at the exact same time, I would be the worst rider in the world, and Wessel would buck me off. Well, he wouldn't, because he's a very polite, nice gentleman. But if I was a horse, I'd buck me off, because I'd go, are you crazy? Why are you giving me these conflicting aids? Why are you saying go backwards and gallop at the same time? I can't do that. You know, wouldn't you be frustrated if someone said to you, can you run sideways and, you know, do something else at the same time? You'd be like, I can't physically do that. So you have to make sure the aids are in sequence. You create the energy, and then a millisecond later, you catch the energy and throw it back. So yeah, when we say catch the energy or capture the energy, you take it, but you throw it back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. I think it's the cat. Yeah, you take the energy, throw it back. So you know when you catch the ball, it's straight away as you catch it, your hand goes back, and then you use that momentum to throw the ball again. That's kind of what you're doing with the riding. You're throwing the energy, catching the energy, throwing the energy, catching the energy, letting it go, but then saying don't go, send it back. But then as soon as it goes back, instead of rein backwards, we're going to gallop forwards. But instead of galloping forwards, we're going to go backwards. And by throwing that energy forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, very, very quickly, millisecond, you can create the lift. I hope I'm doing a good job. And remember, this is advanced stuff. Like first, you've got to get clear on your TROT canter transitions aren't running. Firstly, you've got to get clear on plugging in your seat bones. First, get clear on playing with the bit just to get the horse round and through before we start playing with the bit to actually contain the energy and throw it up. What's that, baby?
It's going to come slowly.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. We've got a fear question. I am going to go live in fear again, and I'll make sure the girls tell you about my fear class so you can get some mindset stuff around that. Oh, it's okay. The live audio is cutting out, Alexandra. Why would it do that to me? Yep. Okay. My horse blocks the right jaw, blocking the rein. Any ideas? Yep. So if you were, yep, this is the right. Yep, left and right. So it feels heavy, it feels blocked. We're just going to apply the right leg and say, hey, move over. And you can see the minute I do that, I can give with that rein because the leg is unblocking all of that. Now, I saw a gorgeous question from the lovely Kylie who just own. I have to answer that one, Kyle. Where'd it go, Phil? Something about pirouettes. know. I'm working on canter pirouettes on Wes. Any tips? Yes. Okay. So, so we'll go into the working canter piro. So, the working canter piro is the same as a real canter piro. So it's all about. He's like, oh, we're actually going to have to really work. Yeah, we are. Okay. So I'm just going to canter. Can we go forward, please? Canter around Phil. Get my canter first. And then I'm just going to put him in the shape, which means I'm going to put him in a half pass shape on a circle. That's the canter pirouette. Now, the first thing is Kyle, he sucks back. He wants to do back canter. So make sure, yeah, sure, we collected canter, sure, but you see how now I've got him between on my seat, but he's actually forward. I don't need my reins too much. Now he's gone off it. Good boy. But the biggest thing, Kyle, is he sucks back. And once he sucks back, you don't have him anymore. You don't have his body. You don't have control of his body. So therefore, you can't turn him. And that's his biggest naughty thing in the piros. He takes control, he sucks back, and then you've got nothing. So I'm constantly thinking medium canter in the trick. Yeah. And so then we go to where we have to do the piro. I ride forward, I collect, and I try and make sure that I keep him forward in the collection. And you see, that's a big one because I've trained him. I'm training this, and I don't want him to do that to me in the test. So I'll try again. Collect, but stay forward. Collect, but stay forward. Collect, but stay forward. Collect, but stay forward. Collect. So as you can see, we have to go through a bit of a gallop. Done a change on me. And this is what I mean. Training looks ugly. Training looks bad. Now, would I have done that in the test? No, I wouldn't have ridden him like that in the test. I would have gotten through and done a piro for a 6. But I want to train at home the piro for an 8. No, not happy. Gallop out. And I might train like this all day, not actually do a piro. Because every time I ask, he's sucking back. That's better. Yes. No. Keep forward. Keep forward. Keep forward. Keep forward. Yes, good man. So that's what I recommend, Kyle. Maybe do one, but aim to do one when it feels perfect. And if that's today, that's great. And if that's next week, that's next week. But the collection, but thinking gallop, because that's his biggest thing. When you collect, he thinks backwards. Cool. All right. I think that is time. So hope that was fun for you all. So trust that helps. Remember, if you guys need any help with steps, procedures, strategies, recipes, how do you do A, how do you do B, how do you do C, I've got a free training class that tells you all about creating a dressage system that works for you. Go check it out on the link below.